seen more opportunities outside the United States, and we continue to look really at the large countries like India, because we need to buy large. We need to make large commitments in order to have them be meaningful to Berkshire Hathaway, and India is a very logical place to look. So I hope I spend some money here.
Mr. Buffett, this is Ritesh from Z Business. So we believe that you are on a philanthropic visit in India, but on your visit to India, would you also be, when you're talking with the India Inc. corporate, will you also be exploring the opportunities of investing in India? And how, second question, how are you looking India?
Just one question. What was that first question? Well, this is not primarily a trip to do that. I may well learn something here. I always do when I travel around. But Bill Gates and I are meeting shortly to talk to a group of wealthy people here about what we've done in the United States with the Giving Pledge. We have an insurance operation that's just started here. But in the process, I'll be talking to a lot of people in the next few days, and I'm sure some of them will give me some ideas.
Mr. Buffett, welcome to India from Bloomberg UTV. My question to you is that you have sort of had a distribution partnership with Bajaj Allianz, one of the insurance companies in India. As far as the investment in the insurance side or the financial service side, do you think are there any regulatory issues that are of concern to you? If you could throw a light on that.
Well, there are various rules as to the percentages we can own of various types of businesses, and I believe the limit in terms of insurance companies is 26%. We do not have an insurance company here now. We have an agency in effect. Obviously, it would be more attractive to us if we could buy more than 26% of a company. So that is a factor in the decision on investing. You put the same amount of effort into a 26% company as a company that you own 50% of or 75%. So I would say that for the time being, and perhaps for some time, our activities in insurance here will be at the agency level rather than at the underwriting level.
Mr. Buffett,
this is Rukmini from Bloomberg UTV. The penetration of the domestic savings of Indians into the equity market is very low compared to other countries. So what is your advice to Indian investors?
Well, my advice to Indian investors would be the same as I would say in any country. Invest in what you understand. Don't get outside of what I call your circle of competence. Don't try and buy and sell actively. I don't know how to do it, and I know very few people that do. Basically buy into businesses where you feel that they have some kind of a sustainable economic advantage over time, where you feel good about the management, and where you're not paying too high a price to make the purchase. And that's what I've been doing all my life, and it works okay.
Mr. Buffett, hi.
This is Shelly Chopra from ET Now. I'd like to ask you, do you think that the Indian government has done enough in terms of making India an attractive destination? Because you just said that you've come here pretty late and you do hope to spend some money. Do you think there's been concern about the way the Indian government has kept India as a business destination for international investors?
I think India's done pretty well without my advice so far, so I'll let them keep doing the same thing.
What would you tell our Prime Minister when you meet him?
What then?
What will you tell the Prime Minister?
Any conversation I have with the Prime Minister will stay private.
Mr. Buffett, hi. Bala here from NDTV, sir. So why has it taken this long for you to come to India? And what is your perception of the Indian economy?
I guess you'd have to regard me as a bit retarded, because I should have been here much sooner. But I have been sort of a stay-at-home fellow for most of my life, and there are many countries that I've not visited. I won't name them for fear of offending them, but I plead guilty to being late.
How do you see these developments where the U.S. is getting into the Middle East and trying to take political control?
I will not. I won't be discussing the activities of the American government. For one thing, I'm about 2 days out of touch with news on what's been going on with the greater involvement of both Europeans and the United States in the Middle East. So I'll let the American government make the decisions on that.
So, but as an investor, are you concerned? As an investor, are you concerned about your investments and the economic scenario.
Well, we have investments all over the world. There will be things happen, such as the terrible tragedy in Japan that affected one of our plants there, for example. But there have been all kinds of things that have happened in the United States over my lifetime of investing. You know, we've had 9/11, we had a panic in this fall of 2008, but business goes on, and basically, in most economies of the world, they march forward over time. I certainly believe that about the United States. My children will live better than I do. My grandchildren will live better than my children. That's been the history of a market society and a rule of law.